Hugo Ekitike just scored a winner for Liverpool, then immediately got himself sent off for celebrating, and it's the most brain-dead moment in football history. The French striker took his shirt off despite already being on a yellow card, earning a second booking that left Arne Slot absolutely furious. Here's why this is peak stupidity. Ekitike literally threw away his heroic moment by making the most avoidable mistake possible in modern football. The timing is perfect because everyone's obsessed with players making inexplicable decisions that ruin their own success stories. Social media is roasting Ekitike because his celebration red card represents everything wrong with modern player intelligence. The psychological impact of scoring a winner, then immediately sabotaging yourself, must be devastating for team morale. His moment of madness proves that football IQ hasn't evolved with the sport's tactical sophistication. The beautiful game becomes tragic when players destroy their own legendary moments through pure stupidity. Ekitike's celebration disaster is trending because it's the ultimate example of snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. Will players ever learn basic celebration rules or continue making these inexcusable errors?
Borussia Dortmund just got exposed for mocking a British influencer's stutter on TikTok, and the backlash is absolutely brutal. The German club posted a video using audio that appeared to mock Jesse Yendel's speech impediment, sparking massive controversy. Here's why this is genuinely disgusting. A professional football club thought it was acceptable to mock someone's disability for social media content. The timing is perfect because social media accountability culture is at its peak, and clubs can't hide behind corporate PR anymore. The psychological damage of having millions mock your disability must be absolutely devastating for the influencer involved. Dortmund's decision to mock a stutter represents everything wrong with football's toxic social media culture that prioritizes viral content over human decency. This incident proves that football clubs have lost all sense of basic human empathy in their desperate pursuit of engagement. The beautiful game becomes ugly when professional organizations mock disabilities for entertainment value and viral content. Dortmund's stutter mockery is trending because it exposes how football has normalized cruelty as acceptable social media strategy. Modern football's content obsession has created an environment where mocking disabilities is considered funny rather than harmful. Will football clubs learn basic human decency or continue prioritizing viral content over compassion?
Nottingham Forest are playing in Europe for the first time in 30 years, and it's the most emotional comeback story in football. The club that won 2 European Cups in the late 70s is finally back on the continental stage against Real Betis. Here's why this is absolutely magical. Forest's European return represents the ultimate redemption arc after decades of mediocrity and lower league struggles. The timing is perfect because everyone loves underdog stories, and Forest's journey from League One to Europa League is pure Hollywood material. Social media is celebrating Forest's return because it proves that football dreams can still come true despite modern financial inequality. The psychological impact of returning to Europe after 30 years must be overwhelming for fans who never thought they'd see this day. Their European comeback represents everything beautiful about football's ability to create hope and restore pride in forgotten communities. The beautiful game becomes poetry when historic clubs reclaim their rightful place among Europe's elite after decades of suffering. Forest's European return is trending because it's the ultimate proof that patience and persistence can overcome any obstacle. Modern football's financial dominance makes Forest's achievement even more remarkable and inspiring for smaller clubs everywhere. Will Forest's European adventure inspire other fallen giants? Or is this just a beautiful anomaly?
A football club just got caught mocking someone's disability on social media, and the internet is absolutely destroying them. Borussia Dortmund posted TikTok content that appeared to mock British influencer Jesse Yendel's stutter, creating a massive controversy. Here's why this is beyond unacceptable. Professional sports organizations should never mock disabilities, yet Dortmund thought this was appropriate social media content. The timing is crucial because disability awareness is at an all-time high, and society won't tolerate this kind of discrimination anymore. Social media is rightfully destroying Dortmund because mocking speech impediments represents the worst kind of bullying from a position of power. The psychological trauma of having your disability mocked by millions must be absolutely devastating for anyone with similar conditions. This incident exposes how football's social media obsession has created an environment where cruelty is considered acceptable entertainment. The beautiful game becomes disgusting when clubs prioritize viral content over basic human decency and respect for vulnerable people. Dortmund's disability mockery is trending because it represents everything wrong with modern football's toxic social media culture. Contemporary football's content desperation has normalized cruelty as acceptable marketing strategy rather than recognizing it as harmful discrimination. Will football learn to respect human dignity or continue treating disabilities as comedy material?
Football celebrations have become so regulated that players are literally getting sent off for taking their shirts off. Hugo Ekitike's red card for celebrating his Liverpool winner exposes how ridiculous modern football rules have become. Here's why this is absolutely insane. Players can't even express joy without risking punishment, turning celebrations into calculated business decisions rather than emotional expressions. The timing is perfect because football's over-regulation is killing the sport's authentic emotional moments that fans actually love. Social media is debating whether celebration roles have gone too far because Ekitike's red card feels like punishment for being human. The psychological pressure of having to control your emotions during the most exciting moments must be crushing for players. His celebration red card represents everything wrong with modern football's obsession with control over authentic human expression. The beautiful game becomes robotic when players can't celebrate without fear of punishment for showing genuine emotion. Ekitike's celebration disaster is trending because it exposes how football has prioritized bureaucracy over the joy that makes sports special. Modern football's rule obsession has created an environment where happiness is literally punishable by law. Will football return to allowing authentic celebration or continue punishing players for being human? Nottingham Forest's return to European football after 30 years is the greatest comeback story in modern sport. The club that once conquered Europe is back where they belong, facing Real Betis in their first continental match since the 90s. Here's why this is absolutely incredible. Forest went from League One to Europa League, proving that football dreams can still come true despite financial inequality. The timing is perfect because everyone's obsessed with underdog stories, and Forest represents hope for every fallen giant in football. Social media is celebrating Forest's journey because it proves that patience and persistence can overcome any obstacle or setback. The psychological impact of returning to Europe must be overwhelming for fans who thought they'd never see their club compete continentally again. Their comeback represents everything beautiful about football's ability to restore pride and create hope in forgotten communities. The beautiful game becomes inspirational when historic clubs reclaim their rightful place among Europe's elite after decades of struggle. Forest's European return is trending because it's proof that football magic still exists despite modern commercialization. Contemporary football's financial dominance makes Forest's achievement even more remarkable and inspiring for clubs everywhere. Will Forest's success inspire other fallen giants or remain a beautiful exception to modern football's harsh realities?
Arne Slot just went absolutely ballistic at Hugo Ekitike for the stupidest red card in football history. The Liverpool manager couldn't hide his fury after his striker celebrated a winner, then immediately got sent off for taking his shirt off. Here's why Slot's reaction is completely justified. Ekitike literally threw away a perfect moment through the most avoidable mistake possible in modern football. The timing is brutal because Liverpool needed every player available, and Ekitike's stupidity cost them a crucial squad member. Social media is supporting Slot's anger because managers shouldn't have to deal with players making inexcusable, basic errors. The psychological frustration of watching your player sabotage himself must be absolutely maddening for any coach trying to build team discipline. Slot's fury represents every manager's nightmare when players make decisions that show complete lack of football intelligence. The beautiful game becomes a management nightmare when players can't follow the most basic rules of professional football. Slot's Ekitike rage is trending because it exposes the gap between player talent and actual football intelligence. Modern football's complexity makes basic mistakes even more inexcusable when players should know better than ever. Will players start showing more intelligence or continue driving their managers insane with avoidable errors?
Yugo Ekitike just issued the most embarrassing apology in football history after getting himself sent off for celebrating. The Liverpool striker had to publicly apologize to fans for making the most avoidable mistake possible in modern football. Here's why this apology is peak cringe. Ekitike had to admit he was too stupid to remember basic celebration rules while scoring a winner. The timing is brutal because public apologies for stupidity hit different when millions of people witnessed your brain-dead moment. Social media is mocking Ekitike's apology because saying sorry for being an idiot doesn't fix the damage to team morale. The psychological humiliation of having to apologize for your own stupidity must be devastating for any professional athlete. His apology represents everything embarrassing about modern football, where players have to publicly admit their lack of basic intelligence. The beautiful game becomes a comedy show when players need to apologize for not understanding elementary rules. Ekitike's apology is trending because it's the ultimate admission that football intelligence hasn't evolved with the sport's sophistication. Contemporary football's media scrutiny means every stupid decision becomes a public humiliation that requires damage control. Will players learn from public embarrassment or continue making mistakes that require humiliating apologies?
European football just welcomed back one of its most legendary clubs after a 30-year absence. Nottingham Forest's return to continental competition represents the ultimate redemption story in modern sport. Here's why this is absolutely magical. Forest went from League One struggles to Europa League glory, proving that football dreams can still come true. The timing is perfect because European football needed a genuine underdog story to remind everyone why the sport is beautiful. Social media is celebrating Forest's return because it represents hope for every fallen giant that's been forgotten by modern football. The psychological impact of returning to Europe after 3 decades must be overwhelming for fans who never thought they'd see this moment. Their European comeback proves that patience and persistence can overcome any obstacle or financial disadvantage. The beautiful game becomes inspirational when historic clubs reclaim their rightful place among Europe's elite after decades of suffering. Forest's European return is trending because it's proof that football magic still exists despite modern commercialization and financial inequality. Contemporary European football's predictability makes Forest's achievement even more remarkable and refreshing for neutral fans everywhere. Will Forest's European adventure inspire other fallen giants or remain a beautiful exception to football's harsh modern realities? Football players are making increasingly stupid decisions, and Yugo Ekitike just provided the perfect example. The Liverpool striker scored a winner, then immediately got sent off for the most avoidable celebration mistake possible. Here's why this represents a bigger problem. Modern footballers seem to lack basic intelligence, despite having access to more coaching and education than ever before. The timing is perfect because football intelligence hasn't evolved with the sport's tactical sophistication, creating a dangerous gap. Social media is highlighting player stupidity because fans are tired of watching professionals make amateur mistakes that ruin important moments. The psychological disconnect between physical talent and mental intelligence is becoming more obvious as football becomes more complex. Ekitike's stupidity represents a generation of players who excel physically but struggle with basic decision-making under pressure. The beautiful game becomes frustrating when elite athletes can't master elementary aspects of professional football, like celebration rules. Player stupidity is trending because it exposes how modern football development focuses on skills while ignoring intelligence. Contemporary football's complexity makes basic mistakes even more inexcusable when players should be smarter than previous generations. Will football start prioritizing intelligence development or continue producing talented idiots who sabotage themselves?